I had lost my wife. I lost my grandfather. I felt lost, and I hated doing what I was doing. I was making less than $250 a week bring home, but I was spending 6 days a week doing it. Working on a Saturday, servicing one convalescent home down on Fayette Street in downtown Baltimore. But Monday through Friday, 13 and a half hours. Would you do that? No, most people wouldn't. But I was initially thinking, if I can learn everything about this business, make money, I'll buy my own machines, my own vending machines, and I'll know everything about this business that I'm looking at as I'm paying tuition. Just like, I guess it would be considered like a intern, where you're not really getting paid, you're just there to get the experience, which is very expensive, by the way. But I felt defeated. I felt like I was at my wit's end, and I had lots of books, I had lots of things in my head, but I couldn't make that stuff and retail stuff work. It just, every time I got into a trade, either I would be scared because I lost money before, I lost an account, or I would be immediately stopped out. And it was very, very discouraging. And while I didn't have a gun, I probably would have hurt myself if I had one then. I felt like I was being invited many times driving over that Key Bridge. Like I just want to whip the wheel over there and just go off the edge of it. Well, the day I was in the stop right before going across the Key Bridge, and I would go to Telco, which was a stop that didn't make a whole lot of money, but I hated going to it. I figured, well, once I service that one, I'll be going over the Key Bridge, and then I'm going to do it today. I'll probably pass out on my way down. I probably won't feel anything, but nobody's going to miss me. And that's the depth of where
you will experience that too. But if I am left to my own devices as a human being with mental illness, where I always feel like I have to prove myself, and people like to play counselor to me. Why do you do this? Don't ask me. I don't know why, okay? But I have to. I'm a dog chasing cars, and you're not gonna fix me. A lot of people have tried good-hearted attempts, but that won't work with me. It doesn't work. In fact, frankly, it pisses me off. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like when someone tries to mother me. Now, I know a lot of you guys like to see me as a father figure. That's cool, but I'm just trying to be a voice of reason. And if I don't follow my own rules, I can blow it just as easily as someone brand new. It takes a great deal of effort on my part to stay disciplined. I always want to moonwalk on the grass that says don't walk on it. I always want to do that. When someone says don't do something, I already have a dozen ways I'm going to do it. Now, we kind of define that as a Christian as a sinner. I am a sinner, and I have to repent every single day, multiple times, because the things that I want to do, the things I think about wanting to do, it's not something that I would be proud of. And you probably wouldn't ever hear that from a mentor or anyone else. But I'm real. I'm practical, even though sometimes I seem impractical to most people. So I have to remove myself from that enticement. Because if I don't do that, I'm left to my own devices. And then I would be in a position where I knew I would be in a trade where I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't be in that market. I shouldn't be in the market. You knew better, ICT. Why are you doing this? Well, because I have something to prove. To who? Whoever will listen. That's the humanity in me that I wrestle with all the time. And for some of you younger folks, generally the young men, you have this same thing inside you. And you want to get really, really good at this. So that way you can go out there and stick your thumb in everybody's eye that didn't have a problem with you. You'll create that audience because you feel like you have to do it. It's something inside of you that you can't cope with. And your coping mechanism is you want to do that because then you'll feel like, a gladiator. That's not why I do what I do. I do it because I want to hear my grandfather tell me, "You done well. I'm proud of you." And there's a lot of things I've done over the years as an educator and a teacher that I'm not proud of. And I know that if he was able to see me and had seen what I've done or said some of the things I've said through ego, he would tell me that wasn't something that I would be proud of, or he would be proud of, which would scar me. But left to my own devices over the last 2 weeks, I would have easily had an extremely low strike rate. And I talked to Tom Hugard in private here and there, and I told him, I said, I would have had about a 12% strike rate. If we were being honest and we were sitting at a pub, not that I go to anything like that, but we were just hanging out, he and I told him, I said, I think, honestly, knowing myself, I would have had about a 12% strike rate, which would have been abysmal, hard. But knowing my tendencies, knowing how I'm going to interpret the climate, the environment, the ideas that I know are going to jump up in my head and say, okay, here's where you want to shine, ICT. This is where you want to go out there and show everybody else that they can't get on your level. When this thing's doing this, you do it. I know that about me. I've done it for years, decades. I've done it. But there's something different about this now. We have so many things looming in the horizon that can wreck these markets instantaneously. And I know that's coming. I know it is. And most of you, even without me saying so, you know it too. But it's not a deterrent enough for you to say, oh, I'm not going to take any, I'm not going to not take a trade right now because I see everybody else doing it, so I got to do it. I'm 50 years old. I don't look at everyone else and say, I want to do that because they're doing it. I look at my history, the human in me, the things I've always wrestled with. And I know that every single time I've hurt myself, it's because I wanted to do something that was not asked of me. In times where I should have done nothing. And I knew better. And now not because I'm up, and this is how I opened this up in the beginning of this Twitter space. I said that, I'm not obligated to you. As a reminder, I'm not saying it to be condescending, but I'm not obligated to you. And I'm telling you that because I'm reminding myself. I'm reminding myself that I don't have to do anything for you. But I love doing it. And there's a line that gets blurred sometimes because I listen to people that you all tell me not to listen to. But I want to help them because they don't believe either what I'm doing or what I teach, despite people making fortunes with it and crediting their success to the things that they learn from me, which I'm so thankful for. And I've converted a lot of people to this school of thought, not because they like me, because there's people out there that are making money using my stuff, but they don't want to say my name. They don't want to give any kind of credit to it. And they like to say it's always been there. They're still using my vernacular, my terminology, and my concepts. That's the thing that gets under my skin. That's what frankly pisses me off and causes me to be the abrasive ICT. And I don't like being that person. I don't like being a drag for the students who are here to try to learn. But I'm sharing this because I want you to know that you're going to go through this. Not me, ICT. I'm not like you. I don't have to listen. Start making money. start making money and start noticing people out there doing things that are nonsensical. Like things that make no sense at all. And they're in there saying that they're this and they're that. They can do this and they can do that. When you know better, and you're quietly doing it on your own, and you're doing things that they would never believe, then you'll think differently.
It's going to probably take more time than I want it to, but it's okay, because I have set a resolve in my heart, in my spirit, in my mind. I'm not changing, I'm not deviating, and a motherfucker out there going to tell me that this ain't for me, because I know it is. The more somebody tells me it ain't for me, the more I'm in love with it. It just means that you can't fucking do it, and it's going to be even more better once I get there, and you get to witness it. And I don't have to rub your fucking nose into it. You're just going to see me live better by it. That's the best revenge. That's the best revenge for your naysayers. The people that say, you aren't going to be successful at this. Don't bother. You're going to lose your money. You're going to do this. You're going to waste all this fucking time. Laugh at these motherfuckers under your breath. 2 years from now, shit's going to be different for you. It's going to be totally different for you. Everybody else is going to be struggling to find another way to make their fucking ends meet. You got this. Look around, folks. Shit is changing. The way we do business, the way people are going to work, the way we have careers, that's all changing right in front of you right now. And I'm here to tell you that the shit you're learning ain't going to change. It's either there is no markets or everything I'm teaching you will keep fucking working. So stop worrying about that. Use the time, pour into yourself, invest in yourself. The only thing you're doing is kicking the can down the road farther and farther by you not just tearing into this saying, I'm going to do this. It's going to probably take more time than I want it to, but it's okay, because I have set a resolve in my heart, in my spirit, in my mind. I'm not changing, I'm not deviating, and a motherfucker out there going to tell me that this ain't for me, because I know it is. The more somebody tells me it ain't for me, the more I'm in love with it. It just means that you can't fucking do it, and it's going to be even more better once I get there, and you get to witness it. And I don't have to rub your fucking nose into it. You're just going to see me live better by it. That's the best revenge. That's the best revenge for your naysayers. The people that say, you aren't going to be successful at this. Don't bother. You're going to lose your money. You're going to do this. You're going to waste all this fucking time. Laugh at these motherfuckers under your breath. 2 years from now, shit's going to be different for you. It's going to be totally different for you. Everybody else is going to be struggling to find another way to make their fucking ends meet. You got this. You got this. Every fucking Monday to Friday, there's an opportunity for me. Just like there's a work day for everybody else. In a couple days, everybody's going to fucking work on Monday. And they had to fucking work until Friday just to get the same thing that they got the previous week. Time stolen. You prostituted your life for somebody else to say this is what you were worth to me. And what did you lose in the process? You didn't see your wife. You didn't see your husband. You didn't see your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your kids, your friends. You didn't have peace of mind or relaxation whatsoever. You're fucking stressed out because you're in debt and you have no way out. Folks, it isn't for everybody, but for everybody that wants to dig their heels into it, it is for you. It is for you. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't do this. You can. It's hard as fuck to get through what you do to yourself. When you stand in front of yourself and you say, what's the point of me doing this? Or I failed yesterday. Or I failed last week. That's where I just give up. Who's stopping you? The market didn't. Your friends aren't right. Your coworkers aren't right. Carl's not right about you failing in this. You might as well just warm up and tie yourself up to the company just like he is. Company man, Carl. It's you. You have the control of sticking with this come hell or high water until you get it, or stopping. There's nothing out there, folks. There's nothing out there that's going to be an impediment to you succeeding but you. It's just time and effort. You have to make an effort, an honest effort. Not, well, I took some notes in 5 pages of scribbled bullshit. And ICT's full of shit because, here's my proof, here's my notes. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
That's not effort. That's bullshit. Getting in here, showing up every day, doing back testing, getting data collected. How many times does this form? How many times does it perform? How many times does it develop a setup at this specific time? How many times does that happen over the course of a week, of a month, in the course of a year with one asset? And realistically think to yourself, if you just got one of those opportunities over the course of the week and you stopped, you exercised due diligence and discipline and said, I don't need to do more. I don't have the experience yet. So if I can get this, I'll stop and study the rest of the week and go at it again the following week. That's a winning trader. That's a fucking market maven. That's somebody that has absolute control over themselves when 99.9 motherfucking percent, 99% of these fucking traders out there, whether they're profitable or not, they don't really have control of themselves. When I was becoming a student of the markets in 1992, really putting an effort into it, not when I was 15 years old by my uncle showing me charts. If I wanted to be real and tell you when I really started looking at price and shit like that, it would be when I was 15. I'm not being, in my opinion, genuine enough to say, okay, my concern, because I didn't give a fuck at that time. At 15 years old, I was worried about martial arts and girls. That's what I was worried about. So markets were completely alien to me. I didn't care. But when I started working a job and hated it, wasn't making very much money, it fell into my lap again and saying, okay, well, there's probably a sign to this. You know, I turned my nose to it. My uncle talked about it. He made money with it. So, you know, apparently I must be meant to do this. So I reacted and started digging into it in 1992. But it wasn't until November 5th of 1992, on a Thursday evening at 9 p.m. in my aunt and uncle's family room, that was the moment. That was the very birth of Inner Circle Trader. That was the day I said, I am going to learn how to do this. I might not be a success in real estate. I might not be a success in sports. You know, I maybe never opened up a martial arts dojo like I wanted to when I was a teenager. There's a lot of things I thought I was going to do, and some of the things I tried to do and failed. And I just said, I'm not interested in those things anymore. This here, I never said I fucking give up. I had to quit and take breaks because I couldn't deal with the pressure I was placing on myself. And maybe that's what you do too. But quitting's not a fucking option. You have already been infected with this. So you might as well just fucking roll your sleeves up and say, okay, I know I want to do this. I know everybody else around me says it's bullshit. It's a pipe dream. It's going to be so hard to learn how to do it. And guess what? Everybody that's ever made money in this thought the same thing, and their friends and family and influences around them were saying the same thing. What was different? They told them to go fuck themselves. I'm not listening to you. You didn't do this and make money, or you didn't do this and fail and learn anything from it. You're just telling me from your fucking Carl perspective. You're a 9-to-5er, okay? You're a 401k, American dream, get into a fucking 30-year mortgage debt, pay all this fucking interest, and consider that success. I don't listen to people like that. I never listen to motherfuckers that do that. If you're going to work and you have a good job, you aren't a fucking mentor to me. If you have a good career and you go to work for somebody else, you're not a fucking mentor to me. Because you're not going to teach me any fucking thing that I want to do. I never wanted to fucking work for these people that I work for. I never wanted to work for them. I never wanted to do that. I wanted to go to school, get an education, computer science, information systems specializing, and be a systems analyst. And I wanted to get some experience at a firm, and then I was going to branch off and have my own firm. I was going to do that. That was what I was going to do. My whole point of living this adult life was to be an entrepreneur, my own person. Fuck working for somebody else. And this right here, my friends, this right here, this industry that you're listening to this goofball talk to you about right now that sounds like he's hopped up on fucking goofballs, this is the last bastion of free enterprise. I feel sorry for you. You didn't get a proper education. You're not prepared for the adversities this world's throwing at you. And you think that you're going to walk out here in the elite playing field, the arena, of the titans of the financial world, and you're going to walk in here and fucking pickpocket them and they're not going to bitch slap your ass? Please. There is a realistic approach to doing this, but so many come in here with a comic strip approach. Like it's going to be, like it's owed to you. I don't owe you shit. The market doesn't owe you shit. You have to take it by force. You got to go through a tedious, arduous task of just conditioning yourself mentally that this shit is war. It's war. It's not a video game where you get to respawn when you lose your ass. Yes, Virginia, you just lost some fucking money. What are you going to do about it? You got to change. You have to condition yourself. Say, okay, I did something wrong. It doesn't mean I'm done. It just means that I have suffered a loss. Do I rush back in there through emotional stimuli? Well, if that's what you think, who are you really being in that trader instance at that time? The analyst? The trader that listens to the sound logic that comes from the analyst? Or the gambler? You're the gambler. And you'll foolishly accept, if you got it right through luck and just happenstance, you'll think that that's skill. And that's exactly what I did earlier on when I was a 20-year-old. And I want you to understand, as good as it feels that you kicked its ass and you took the money back, eventually your time's coming. I got rolled dozens of times. Later on, after I did that, going back in and get my money back. That's Bailey saying hi. But you got to have somebody that's going to tell you, look, I've been there. I did that silly shit. And sometimes it worked. And I believed it was skill when I did it. I believed it was skill. You could have never convinced me otherwise that it wasn't skill, that I was able to come in here and they did it to me and I did it back to them. Ha ha, fuck off, I got you. But 2 weeks later, I'm putting a fucking fist through a monitor that I can't afford to easily go out and replace. Mad as fuck. And some of you probably did this too. Do you keep making that same repeating error? That means you're not learning. At some point, you have to abandon poor logic. And you have to replace it with something that's going to be an organized approach to help you transition from neophyte, unlearned, unprofitable, break even. Any one of those circumstances can define one of you or all of you. Because all of us are at that stage at one point in time. I was. There's no shame in admitting that right now. Some of you want to go out there and pretend that you know everything that I know, making YouTube videos and talking shit out your ass. You have no idea what you're talking about. Talking about topics that I just barely scratched the surface of. And you're one of my children, and I'm talking to you this way, yes, because you're doing it wrong. Ego is going to be that friend that leads you to ruin. I'm always going to be able to make money now. Look at me. We are. And unfortunately, that kind of mindset leads to ruin. So don't invite it. Don't make it about a spectacle. Don't make it about over-the-top types of results or Olympic-sized feats or speed at which you get to stage 2. Take your time. Relax. Just relax. One day like today, anybody that uses what I'm teaching could get funded to stage 2 in a day like today with one contract. That's not impossible. One contract that could have been done today. But you're looking at a move like today, and you're thinking, if I had 5 contracts here, and 5 contracts here, and 5 contracts there, yeah, you could have. It could have been like that for you. But do you have that experience yet? Probably not. So don't have your expectations so high and lofty where it's easy for you to fall and not feel like you can do it. In other words, don't set yourself up for more than just a temporary failure, because traders and trading is a lifetime of failure. How you deal with that? I ask that question on my interviews now. You know, how do my students that are funded and consistently making money, how do they deal with losing? Everybody does something different. Some people take it harder than others. Other people say, well, you know, it sucks, but I ain't worried about it. I'm going to do the next trade because that trade didn't lose enough for me to feel like I've been beaten. Now contrast that with, I'm not going to stick to a model. I'm going to over leverage. I'm going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing because it only costs me $99 to reset. Aren't they saying the same thing? No. The trader that has a model is taking very small calculated risks that sometimes does not pan out. And that small loss is insignificant in the grand scheme of their entire career as a trader, as a speculator. And they're not worried about trying to avoid the losing trade because the model and the rules say, do this, and this is what should happen. If it doesn't, you're not abandoning that model because it didn't pan out for you, that transaction, and the loss was insignificant. It will not have such a weight on your psyche. So that way, when you look at price action, you won't be thinking, this is generally, in other times, this is a trade I would be taking. But I'm going to wait for confirmation now because I have to make sure. Why? Why would you feel that? Because you've taken a loss that's larger than you were comfortable with. If you're trading with a quote unquote $150,000 account and you're using a 5-handle stop loss on one contract, you're risking what? $250. That's not $3,000. That's a very, very small, insignificant amount. So it gives you wiggle room. How many 5 handles form over the course of a week? Lots of them. Some form at specific times of the day that are very predictable. You don't trade 30 minutes before midnight, New York local time, because you're done playing Xbox Live with your buddies. And now let's go see if I can do something in the market. You don't do that. You have business hours. You stick to them. Bank of America is not open 24 hours. Okay, they have banking hours. You don't want to create this atmosphere in your trading where you feel like you have to always know what the next move is going to be. Narrative is understanding what the algorithm is going to do in price next. It is not an every second of the day narrative. The narrative is when we go into New York session, during this period, I'm looking for the algorithm to do a specific thing, behave a certain way. Because if you spend time with me, you're going to learn how to do this. But some of you will get caught up in this trap of constantly learning because you're afraid to sit down with one model, follow the rules, stick to that process, and let it yield whatever experience is intended for you. And then you have a baseline. That's why I could literally give out a model every single day. And some of you want me to do that. But the only thing it's going to do is like a dog in a meat market. You ain't going to know what to do. You're going to run around and you just chase everything. Instead of simply sitting down and saying, you know what? I'll just have a fillet. Thank you. And I've done that with the 2022 model. I've done that just recently with the Silver Bullet model. You don't have to have anything. I have lots more coming, but you don't have to have anything else. The optimal trade entry was enough. OTE pattern, the flagship that was on my YouTube channel. That's enough. The 2022 model, that's enough. You can use it in every session. London, New York, PM session in New York. You can use it in London close. You can trade it in Forex. You can trade it in futures. You can trade it in crypto. You can trade it in whatever you want to trade it in. It works. There's no excuse. You have zero excuse not to have some baseline by now. You should have some kind of experience where you say, you know what? This shit works. And I have to work on refining it, but I know it works because I've seen it in back testing, looking at where it has done this in the past. I tell you what time to look for these things to form. That way you're not just going around and looking at charts blindly. Go right to these specific times of the day. That's where it's going to form. For those people that go back in their old data and their old charts and they study that, they see it, they don't need me to do 50 examples of that. They don't need to see me do it live 50 times a week. They're sold on the idea. Okay, there's something here. It merits more investigation because I see the evidence of this thing occurring. It's not contrived. It's not conjecture. It's not made up. It's not fabricated. It's really happening every day. And once you see that, you don't need to have anybody else to cheerlead for you. You know, okay, there's something here. I'm going to mine that. So I give you just a few models so that way you go in and you now start working on the skill sets that are required. Not veering off course, hopping from one PD array, one approach, fair value gap, inversion, fair value gap, breakers, market maker models, buy, sell. There's 1,000 things out there that I teach. Every individual one of them is a model. Every single one of them is an individual model. But I give you, this is the best way to learn. I'm allowing you to pick your weapon. I've opened my arsenal doors. So here it is. Look what I have here. Pick your weapon. But nothing changes when it comes to time. Time of day, these things occur at specific times, certain days of the week, certain weeks of the month, certain month of the year. I'm allowing you to bring your personality, your personal influence, because you're the problem, and you're the last puzzle piece. See, some of you are sitting around here, you're writing diligent notes, you're doing this, you're doing that, and that's wonderful. But you're all waiting for that last penny to drop. The last ICT puzzle piece. And then it's all going to come together. It's all going to be crystal clear. Once he tells me this one PD, the 81 PD arrays, the 81 final last one, that's it. That's it. That's the Holy Grail. No, it's not. If you walked over to your mirror right now, if you're driving, look in your rearview mirror, adjust it, look at yourself real quick. Not too long, you're driving. That's the final puzzle piece. And it's always been you. You're the reason why you succeed, and you're the reason why you haven't succeeded yet. And ultimately, you and you alone are the only reason why you're going to fail. That's not me talking down to you. That's me telling you the way it is. That's just the way it is. If you don't have a baseline, which is what the 2022 model will give you, that silver bullet, and the optimal trade entry. If you don't have a baseline experience, going through the motions of, okay, this is the time of day that markets should do these specific things. Well, what's that mean? London creates usually the high or low of the day. New York is usually a continuation, unless London was a consolidation, didn't do much. Then the reversal or higher low of the day will form in New York. Oh, there you go. It's one of those little things that I always tuck in when people are usually getting tired and bored. They turn the video off or turn the presentation off. They don't get that. But that's just the way it works. London close or the end of the AM session is usually for Forex, the higher low of the day. The opposing higher low of the day. That's why I'm not a fan of trading Forex past 1 o'clock in New York local time. Does that mean no trading after that? No, it just means focus on index futures. But like my daughter, she is a professional student because she feels safe as a professional student. Are you a professional ICT student? Because if you are, you're not going to succeed. I'll say it again. Are you coming to me for a constant dose of something new but have done nothing with what I've already given you? Then you're a professional student. And they don't pay professional students. You always had to pay out of pocket. Are you a professional procrastinator? Because that's the equivalent. You keep procrastinating. You have to put the sleeves up. You have to sit down, turn off all the distractions, social media, sports, weekend living, all that stuff. There's plenty of time to do that later, and you can be affording it better then. Right now, you don't have time for that. You can't afford it. You have to be putting all your effort and attention into this because what's coming, folks, is a shitstorm that nobody's ever seen before.
Hello guys and welcome back to a new video. If you have a price action strategy, then there is a 90%
The people that succeed, that are long-term consistently profitable, they know when to sit still. And that's a very hard thing to teach. It's hard. It's hard to teach that. So I just come up with general rules. When you have a really good, nice run, stop. Be content. Live there for a little while, a whole week. But there's so many other trades. Yes, there is. The market's always moving. But you're insisting upon doing something because the availability is there versus building a foundation of mental capital. That's the point. You can have whatever you want to have in your funded accounts or your real accounts, but you really aren't trading with that. You're trading with what you're willing to lose in your head. That's real. That's the threshold that you don't want to ever cross. What does that mean? Say you have a $10,000 account. You have $10,000 in your trading account, and you think 2% you can take that. Well, if you're new, 2% is too high, way too high. But let's assume that that's what it is. In reality, you're uncomfortable if it gets to 1%. So you might initially put your stop loss there at what would be considered 2%. But as soon as it starts approaching that 1% threshold and drawdown while you're in the trade, that's what causes you to collapse the trade. So what's your mental capital? 1%. That's your real capital. Have you considered that when you're doing your trades? Most of you probably haven't. That's a secret that unlocks performance that you've never even dreamed of. Because when you excel in knowing where your threshold is and you say, okay, I'm content with that. That's why I always said, be content with enough. What is enough? It's going to be uniquely different for all of you. $15,000 winning trade may not be significant for some of you. For other people, that's a whole year. I'm done. I ain't got to do shit now. So it's a matter of personal preference and where you are, what your expectations, what your skill set provides for. But your mental capital, the way you build that up, is when you have the victory like this and it's done well. And you may have never taken a trade on this, but remember, in your journaling, you're going to be recording it like you saw it coming and you did. You're tricking your brain with pseudo experience. So you're always constantly laying down foundation psychologically, because this is where all this battle is won. It's not in the chart, it's in your head. Because you can talk yourself out of a winning trade easily, and you can talk yourself out of a short-term drawdown that will eventually pay out if you just stuck to the model and what you're trying to trade. But your mental capital needs to be increased. How do you increase your mental capital? Because you can't deposit mental money. It's experience. That experience factor is something that goes largely untouched in terms of teaching. Mark Douglas didn't talk about it enough. He didn't really get to the grasp of you have to fortify yourself between trades. When you've done something correctly, sit still. Feel what it feels like to be content, not needing to go to that next trade. How do you know you're ready to go in and trade with live funds? How do you know when you're ready to do a funded account challenge? When you're not driven by the passion to get into a next new trade. If you're the person or persons that always tweet to me when I'm calling something out and it delivers, you're the first person in the line that says, what's next? What's going to do next? You're not ready, bro. You are fucking not ready. You're a fiend. You're literally cracked out. You're equivalent to having a crack pipe in your fucking mouth, and you're literally out of rocks, and you want to get the next one. You're fiending. You're not ready. You are absolutely not ready. The people that are like, yeah, I'm going to take this week off. What the market's going to do is, yeah, it's all right. That's someone that's got the right mindset. If they're already consistent in terms of what they can see and forecast and price action, and they can take themselves away from the market, even when they know there's something coming, that's maturity. That is a skill set that if you can forge that before you press into real money, that factor of, well, discipline, it will serve you so well. But you all think it's just the stuff in the chart that's what you need. The new ICT gimmick, the new something set up or model, whatever. And it's not. I've given you shit. I've given you so many things already. But you are the missing final piece of the puzzle. And you don't want to believe me because it's painful. I'm going to constantly remind you. Every time I talk on the Twitter space, I'm reminding you, sometimes gently. But in this one, it probably hurts a little bit. It probably feels off-putting. Don't hate the messenger, okay? I'm Dr. ICT, okay? I'm telling you, this is the medicine that you need. It doesn't taste good, but it helps you. It makes you better. And it's important for you to grow and understand how to do this correctly and not hurt yourself. That's why I teach in a demo. Because if I teach in a demo and I go out there and I show you what I'm doing, because the misnomer is this. If I'm the #1 guru on Twitter, right, Patrick? And I'm trading with a demo, I don't trade with live money, I'm already loaded. I don't need to prove people I have made money in the marketplace. I don't need to do that. I'm calling it. My students are making money. The stuff happens. That's all that needs to be known. That's the only thing I promised, that you're going to learn how to read price action. I did not promise you profitability. That's something that you individually control. But if I'm out here in public, in the mode of an educator, and I have no emotional commitment that holds me back about using a demo, then you should have no problem practicing in one. If your mentor is operating and teaching through the medium of a demo, I don't listen to these jokers out there that have something to sell. Oh, wow, he does this and he does that. And they're not even doing anything close to what we do. Their whole month, I can do that in one fucking day. One day. From beginning to end, show you the whole fucking history. Done. I don't need to do that. I don't have a little dick complex, okay? I'm completely content with who I am, how I am, and my own length. I don't need to worry about anything else. So when you're looking at this, don't view what you're doing as a demo is not significant enough, because it is significant, because you're reading price. The same price action that's unfolding in that demo is happening for people that are trading in real money. The real money people that did everything opposite to what you were doing or expecting in price action and lost their ass, believe me, they know for fucking certain that that shit just happened to them. I'm teaching you so that way you have no emotional connection to this. You have no connection to it emotionally. So you can't be swayed in the periods where it will do its damage. You can't get all, egotistical, because you're not making any money. You're not getting taxed. You can't go out and spend those demo dollars, but you're getting that experience. And you're allowing yourself to learn what I'm teaching you. When you get it right, pause. Feel what it feels like to get it right. Give your journal time between entries where you executed and your next trade. I'm not convincing you or trying to talk you into taking trade after trade after trade after trade to fill your journal up. That's not what this is all about. It's quality over quantity. And just because I'm teaching you the skill set through the medium of day trading, it's not everyday trading. There's recklessness out there, and people gravitate to wild cowboy type shit. And I've done that stuff, and I fell victim to it when I was coming up. I saw people doing some crazy stuff on America Online. I was like, well, I want to do that too. And I got hurt. And I tried to force myself to learn what it is they're doing, and I couldn't do it, so I just stopped. If I'm not able to bridge the gap for you, I'm not the best mentor, okay? I've said this many times before. I'm not the best mentor. I'm sure in years to come, someone's going to properly learn what I'm teaching, and they're going to do a better job of coaching other people, okay? Until I'm done, that can't happen. But November, we're done. I may not be able to fulfill that need. That one of you, or individually, some of you that are listening, I might not be the person that can deliver it. It might be one of my children later in life if they decide to go that route. I don't know. I'm doing the best I can. I have limitations as a person. I have things I wrestle with, and I'm a real person. So I'm practical. I know that I'm not going to reach all of you. And it hurts me because I try very hard, very, very hard to try to do whatever I can to allow you to understand what it is that you need to know and to eliminate the things you're worrying about. And it frustrates me when I see people not listening to the sound advice that I wish I would have paid whatever I had.
And today, I kind of like a little bit more focused because I want to draw a very stark separation between daily bias in the marketplace and narrative. And I want to open it up with initially stating that the bias on a market is absolutely not a narrative. Okay, and I've had over the years students come in and say, it's most important. What should I focus on initially? Like, what's the first thing as a developing student, trader, or someone that's breaking even type trader? What should they focus on first? And they think it's entries. Tell me how to get into a marketplace. How do I know when to buy it? How do I know when to sell it? What's the entry mechanism that never fails? What's the buy signal and sell signal that allows me to not worry about you placing a stop loss because you're too active and start trying to first realize the risks. And before you even get to that stage of knowing when to buy and when to sell, or stop losses, because of reasons, the very thing that you're afraid of the most, placing stop loss and controlling the risk, that's the easiest thing. That's the easiest thing to do. And you can tell, and I was guilty of this in the beginning too. As a 20-year-old, I was afraid to place a stop loss because I was afraid I'd be wrong. I was afraid they would stop me out. At the time, I didn't think of a collective day doing the air quotations with that. I just figured that the market would just come back and get my stuff and then run without it. And I didn't even have enough experience to finally learn that. But it just goes to show that that's what we're afraid of. We're afraid of losing money. As an investor, as an entrepreneur, as a trader, you got to warm up with the idea that you're going to do it wrong. The market will sometimes just be stupid and do something that you did not expect. Okay? And that might incur a loss. So the bias on a marketplace, that's very simply, are you bullish or bearish? Now you can be bullish or bearish on the daily chart, the weekly chart, and have a very long-term or intermediate-term bias. But I'm bullish on gold. I'm bullish on equities. I'm bullish on whatever currency you're interested in. But for what time frame are you bullish? Because I could be bullish for 10 minutes, trading in a 15-second chart, but inside of a long-term macro bearish market. And I can trade profitably doing that. So many of you are so rushed to try to get into something. You're not giving yourself the adequate time to learn how to trust a bias, and then moving past that to where the rubber meets the road is narrative. See, bias is rather simplistic. You arrive at that on the chart. You arrive at that on a daily chart. Is the market going to go higher to an old pool of liquidity, an old relative equal high, two highs that are close proximity to one another, and the most recent one being slightly lower? That's like key. It's where all the retail traders are built real safe, big and short. Placing their stop loss just above that. So I teach you just how to reach for that. And that is simply cut and dry, as easy as you can get for a bias. Whatever time frame that exists on the relative equal highs, that's the time frame that you're bullish. Does not mean you won't have down candles. It doesn't mean you won't have down days in between where it is right now and when it gets there. But all too many times, traders see a down day when it's unlikely bullish. About to list everything out the window because it's probably just reversed because Philadelphia closed down 100. That doesn't mean anything to themselves. I shouldn't have any, bearing on what you believe is bullish on that time frame. In fact, it's good that there's down days in higher time frame charts like that, because that's how order blocks are created. The market trades above that down close candle, and it comes back and tests its opening price. And then you have a change to stay delivery for the short term, but it's already been bullish. You see how quickly a neophyte, someone new, can get lost in the time frames and feel like, I'm doing the sands of time are just carrying me here and there, and I don't know what I'm doing. Why is ICT calling it bullish? Why is he looking for it to go here? Why is he looking for it to go there? Why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? That's what we're talking about today. Narrative. See, it's not enough to know that it's likely to go up. It's not likely to go straight up every single day when you're bullish. That is unreasonable. Unreasonable to accept. And when it's far less likely, doesn't go up. It's legend. Out of all the books I've bought, all the authors I listen to, even people that claim to have made lots of money, even my initially, first mentor, Larry Williams, his tools rather simplistic, but didn't really get to the core of what I was aching for. Was how do I navigate this stuff? Even if I see all the things that I had grown to trust as a brand new student of this, 1995, I had to find my way through all that stuff. because I would overanalyze, I would second guess, I would sprinkle this and that from everyone else that I thought I was learning good stuff from. And it wasn't helpful. It wasn't helpful at all. Because I didn't know the mechanics of what was going on behind this. It was liquidity, time-based delivery. And that's the crux of what makes algorithmic price delivery what it is. It has absolutely zero to do with how many people are buying and how many people are selling. And it's silly when you think about it, because you say, oh, look at the buyers. They're buying pressure. Here's how you quickly throw that into the bin, okay? You cannot get filled on a long purchase of any instrument at all. Allow someone to the other side of it. So there's transactions there. They're on both sides. It's funny how everybody misses the idea there. It's going up. No matter how many contracts, how many shares, how many lots are trading to whatever entity state the other side doesn't matter. It's still the same buying and selling pressure at the same time. But you'll believe the books. You'll believe the authors that regurgitate everything else the books have taught. And it's funny how you're always learning and never coming to the knowledge of the truth. You're never getting there because you're believing the lies and you're drinking from the well that's tainted. If you go in looking for things that are false, not realizing what you're looking for is false, it's flawed logic. And it's easy to grow accustomed to saying, well, you know, this game is random. It's not an even distribution of buying and selling winners in my trading. I have to always be willing to see the market go into states of randomness.
One! I'm looking around over the last 30 years, and there has never been another person talking like the guy shouting to you right now. But we've all been trading this way. Come on, man. Come on. I didn't just step off the boat yesterday, buddy. Okay. This has got to have some credibility applied to it. Where are you getting that from? That's just a new angle. That's just a new angle to discourage you and say, you know what? You're right, ICT, but I'm never going to say it publicly. But we're just going to tap out and say, you know, we're all trading the same things anyway. Well, it's funny because I don't see them getting in there at the consequent encroachment of a fair value gap like I do and use 1.5 handle stop losses and dare the market to hit it and it doesn't. You don't see that. You don't see one 20-year-old kid learning how to talk like me and my profitable, consistent students doing that. Do you? No, you don't. So don't pretend. Don't bring the rhetoric like you do it, because you don't. You didn't discover anything but me. And some of you are disheartened because you didn't find me soon enough. Just be thankful that you did. Just be thankful. It gets better. It gets better. There's no upsell. There's no mentorship to swipe a credit card for. And I don't lose interest in teaching it. So all you repackaging guys out there, you have a broad, bright future, baby. You got fresh bread coming. And it won't break me. I don't lose sleep over that. I know what you guys are doing. I get it. I get it. You need to eat. You need to find your place in the world. I get it. But for the people that want to learn, stop looking to follow attention-seeking people. I promise you the most sincere advice I can give you is that. Because if they had your
best interest in mind, if they really wanted to teach because they love what they do and they can do it regardless and make money, they would do it for free. They would do it for free. I promise you they would do it for free. If they were really rich, if they could really make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day, anytime they want to sit down in front of a chart and do that, they would teach for free. If they were the greatest of all time, they were the GOAT. Instead of showing themselves flying around on an airplane that was paid for by mentorship people paying, they would teach for free. But they need that income. They need that money. They need it. And for the folks who want to know, ICT's only got his model together so he can sell it on ad revenue. You know what I earn a day on ad revenue? You ready for this? You ready? $500 a day. Holy smokes, man, a lot. I'm getting ready to go down to Virginia and buy a Z06 for $170,000 cash. And I promise you, ad revenue can't pay for that. I promise you it can't, okay? It can't do it. Listen, all the penny pinching, counting, pocket watchers out there, they're always going to come. If you put yourself out there in the world, they're going to come at you too. Because these people are constantly hateful and miserable. If they were profitable, if they knew what they were doing, they don't have time to be negative. There's no point in being negative. If these people are successful traders and they make money, why are they so angry and bitter all the time? I'm walking around like I got Viagra in me every single day. I'm happy about it all. I'm happy when people are making money. I don't care if it's with my stuff or not. It's great when it is, but I love seeing success stories. I love seeing other people do well. I love seeing other people overcompensate, okay, for the weaknesses they hold on to and disarm themselves. Say, you know what? I'm not going to hold that anymore. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to start looking at things differently. I'm not going to dwell on the things that I can't do well right now because I know I'm working towards doing it better in the future. And I'm not going to be discouraged by anybody that says otherwise. If your circle of influence, you're letting people into your circle of influence and they're prideful and they're beating their chest and they're the best and they're the GOAT and they can do, nobody's going to be able to do it better than them, and blah, blah, blah. And they got a price tag at the end of it. Join my so-and-so. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. That's a sales pitch. And I promise you, $1 to a donut, that my sales pitch is better. I'm free. I am the definition of free. I don't need to do anything for money. I don't ever need to trade again. I don't ever have to teach anything because I've taught how you're supposed to do this. This lecture that I just gave the last 2 weeks, that was going to be my last public soiree as an educator. I have books coming. And the books will, for my most due diligent following students that have really poured in the time and energy, you don't need to buy these books, I promise you. I don't need your money for it. The only purpose I have by writing them is to simply have it in writing from my own words, the right way. Because there's a lot of people out there that have my stuff in books. And it's astonishing to see how many books have been written about me and my work. And largely, they're incomplete. And there is no book out there that teaches it the way I've taught it entirely and what I intend to show. So everything that I have in the books coming is in that YouTube channel. So listen to me when I'm telling you, I'm not trying to make money off of stupid people, which is what the flavor of the month is right now. The flavor of the month right now is keep stupid people entertained long enough to make money off of them. That's it. That's what's going on right now. And to me, that's shocking. It's disgusting. And frankly, it's short-lived. I promise you, it's going to fall quick. So you have a choice. You can either waste your time and following people like that, that really don't have your genuine best interest at heart. You're a commodity to them. I'm talking right now on a Saturday where I could be fishing. I could be spending time with the 2 puppies I still have that are here with me. I could be shopping. I could be doing a number of things with my time. I'm giving you my time, which is so expensive. And I'm even encouraging you to take it and put it on your YouTube channel and monetize it. Where's the logic in that if I'm a broke guy that just wants to make money off of you? Have you ever thought about that Generation Z? Huh? Have you thought about that one? I don't need anything from anyone, but I have a lot to share. And I love doing it because I know I have people in this community that absolutely appreciate the fact that I don't need to do this. And the stuff that I teach works better than anything ever will because I'm teaching you the market. I'm teaching you how the market will behave. I'm telling you when it will not behave properly. In closing, I'm going to ask you, did you pay attention to how NASDAQ December contract traded on Friday? Did you happen to notice that? Did you happen to notice what the daily high was and what the daily low was? Did you happen to notice that? Did you happen to notice that it was an inside day? It was not able to find its way below Thursday's low or above Thursday's high. Did you happen to notice that? Did you log it? Did you notice anything in particular about why it stopped at those levels? What else appeared intraday at those levels? What was useful information in? If you missed it, I got it for you Sunday. Sunday night, I'm going to post a review. That way you got it. And we'll start fresh on Monday. But
How many setups offered 5 points with something just like this at these key times of the day? And then do the math. If you could just do 1/2 of that, or just 1/4 of that with one mini, it's real easy to see how it's just a matter of time before that thing you call a job no longer is a hindrance to you, because it is a hindrance to you. Where you have your faith chained to their boss's generosity. They're so generous that they make you work those 40 hours, sometimes more, to get that paycheck. That Uncle Sam gets the tax before you touch it. And then you come out and find out that everything's much more expensive today. When you have this skill set, folks, I want you to understand what I'm about to say, and I want to close this video. When you learn this skill set, it removes fear. It removes fear of missing out. It removes the fear and anxiety of failing, but it also removes the fear of inflation. Because this skill set will always outpace inflation. I don't care if gas is $20 a gallon. I'm going to drive my Corvettes. I have 8-cylinder Corvettes that I absolutely will not leave parked. I will drive them and I will enjoy them. I don't care. Gas can be whatever it wants to be. It's a write-off for me. Okay? I don't care how much food is going to cost. I hope I can continuously find it. But I'm not worried about what my utility bills are going to cost. I don't worry about what things are going to cost. That skill set that you're learning here, it aids in that. It helps in that. Notice I'm not promising you get rich. Notice I haven't said that. Because I don't want you coming to my channel thinking I'm promising you to get rich. But I am promising you a skill set that offers the opportunity to do limitless feats and wonders. And it's only limited by your imagination. How much work are you going to put into it? How much work have you put into it? Who are you allowing to influence you? and discourage you, distract you? Are you seeing results? Am I proving this stuff works? Do you feel scammed? Or do you feel energized and thankful that you're part of a community like we have here that's thriving, that's energetic? They're happy, they're uplifted, they encourage one another. And everyone here knows that they're not being taken for a ride. There's no upsell coming. Doesn't that feel good? It frees you up to just concentrate on learning. There's no angle. There's no sales pitch coming. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that cool? That's like, the point is you're in a community that we're all trying to help one another. And all I'm trying to be is the captain of the team and just lead you in the right direction and hopefully avoid the pain and struggles that I went through. Real accounts, real money, real buttons are being pushed. You are going to find that there is a lot of opportunity that you're going to let slip by and not be upset about it. It's going to be one of the most fun experiences that you're going to have as a developing and developed student of Price Action Anonymity. Is you'll see so many stuff, you're like, I could do this trigger now, but I'm not going to. And then walk away from it after it comes to fruition, thinking, I could have done that. And I had the discipline to say no, because I'm not being influenced by fear or greed. And when you're at that level and you're consistent, you have graduated. You are an independent thinker. You have mastered fear and greed. You have operated with a level of discipline that is unknown to the majority of traders on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. That day's coming for you. But you got to go through this stuff here to get to it. It's not hiding from you. I'm not making it hard for you. I've literally taught you everything except for money management, which we'll talk about next week. And then you have the complete understanding of what it is you're doing here. And you're just going to do the same thing every day. Some days you'll get it right. Some days you won't. When you get it wrong, you stop. You don't rush to get it back. And you're going to find the next day, sometimes, here it is. What you took as a loss the previous day comes back sometimes with interest. And that's a good feeling when it happens. It's like, wow, I don't need to worry about it. Losing trades is like getting a flat tire. It sucks. It costs you a little bit of money and time, delays you from what you're trying to get to accomplish. But it's just a speed bump. Costs you a little bit of time and money, but it didn't keep you from getting where you're going. It just created a detour, a delay. I developed a very strong work ethic. I never missed a day of work. And I wanted to focus on getting out of the rat race. At 20 years old, I was thinking to myself that I wanted to be retired at the age of 40. And to my family, that sounded ludicrous. It was unachievable. You couldn't get it. You couldn't obtain that. So submit to the working grind like everyone else does. And that created a sense of anxiety in me to the degree where I was not going to relent until I got myself to the position where I wasn't going to have to work for money. Because I felt working for money was a stupid waste of my time, it was a waste of my energy, and there was a lot better things to be doing than to go to work for someone else. They're never going to appreciate you, not to the degree they should, or that you would want them to. So basically, to have a job or go out into the workforce is rather stupid. So, I know some people are going to scoff at that and say, well, everyone needs to work. They have to have a job. They have to, the ends meet, if you will. And I agree. But that's not a destination. Now, unfortunately, most people create that as their final destination because of procrastination, fear of failure, failure to observe the realities of having the resources, whether you accept the fact that you do or don't. Everyone has resources. There's absolutely zero excuses why
within 10 years, anyone can retire. Now, I'm not saying that you are going to retire a multimillionaire, but you could certainly find a way to replace your current income. Now, if you could do that, think about it. Isn't that really the definition of being rich? Now, I'm not saying super wealthy in elite status, but to be rich is you're not working for money anymore. So if you find a way to replace your current income, even if it never goes up, if you just made ends meet, that's rich. Now, some of you would disagree with that because your definition of rich or wealthy or affluent is going to vary from mine. But I'm telling you from a storyline, this is how I came up from this. I came from a very, very modest upbringing, very modest start. So it was a 20-year plan for me. Now, for most of you, you won't subscribe to that. 20 years is too long. Sorry, let me go to the next video. Let me go to another YouTube mentor. Let me see who's selling the system. Okay, give me a process of give me in 1, 2, 3, give me the profits and wash, rinse, repeat. I never really subscribed to that very long initially because everyone's baptized in the same way with trading its indicators and buy and sell and this, that, and other thing. But I found quickly that that wasn't the way to do it. And because I'm a very analytical person, I have a very technical approach to things. I'm methodical in a lot of ways, and I've always been that way. So if someone speaks to me, I'm always analyzing what's their alternative motive. What's their ulterior motive? And maybe there isn't one, but I'm always thinking that, and I'm always trying to decide.
All this is you show up, you put the work in, learn. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be fucking hard because you're wrestling yourself. But once you finally get past yourself and get out of your own fucking way, then you'll really start to learn. And you'll see that you've made it much more harder than it needs to be. Because it's all basically psychological. You're afraid of losing money. You're afraid of being wrong. You're afraid of failing. You're afraid of your fucking spouse or your coworkers or your family members, your friends to say, I told you it wasn't going to work. It's all a pipe dream. And some of you deep down inside, listen, folks, listen. It's going to get so hard that you're going to actually create the environment for that to happen. So that way it's ending all the pain. That short little momentary embarrassment around your family and friends, your coworkers. Yeah, I lost my fucking money. You're right. It's fucking bullshit. Nobody's making money. It's all fucking fraud. It's a scam. It's all horseshit. Because you don't want to endure. Because it's hard wrestling with that feeling of, what would they think of me if I fail? Fuck that. Why are you even entertaining that shit? Listen, failure is a fucking choice. That's not a guarantee. Failure is a fucking choice. Setbacks, speed bumps, adversities, that's all part of this, like anything else. Anything worth doing is going to be fucking hard. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost time. It's going to cause you to have to put more effort into this than you ever think anything you've ever done. Weak people don't survive in this industry. Unorganized, undisciplined, irresponsible motherfuckers do not stay in this business. You have to be an adult that is an independent thinker that understands there's real risk in this shit. You could lose your ass. And when you have this skill set, you're going to feel exactly what I feel. And some of you that are weaker and younger, you're going to do the same shit I did when I was 20-some years old. I was the biggest prick there ever was. And you can hear it sometimes. It's still in me. That young man still likes to raise his head up once in a while. But the old man in me has to remind his ass to sit the hell down. But that humanity in me is still there. But you're going to feel what it feels like to know what you know. And nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can make you forget about it. They can't discount it. They can't say it doesn't work. Who gives a fuck how many people are going to doubt you? Listen, You start making $50,000 a fucking month. How many people will it take for you to be convinced that what you're doing is bullshit? How many people will it take for you to be convinced that you making over 6 figures every 6 fucking months consistently? How many people will it take for them to convince you that what you're doing is a waste of your fucking time? How many people does it take you to do that? There ain't enough.